Okay, and welcome back to another edition of Nick and Knarf. Three brothers in Tucson bringing you music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, both ways. And here to us, to our delight, we have our younger brother from Missouri visiting us. That would be Orlando, affectionately known as Lando. And Frank's going to tell you about who we're highlighting today.
We are picking the best. First of all, I want to say thanks to Lando for coming out. Surprise the hell out of us.
And
we didn't know he was coming.
Gave us these wonderful shirts.
I'm with Nick, and he's with Knarf. So together, we're together. And thank you for the beautiful shirts, Lando, and great to have you with us. We are doing today one of the most iconic bands of the 80s and 90s. Innovative, creative, brilliant. It is Talking Heads. This band was introduced to me by Orlando and his friend Frankie Van Hees. We love you, Frankie. Hope you're doing well. Anyway, back in 1979, and I tell you, it kind of blew me away. I didn't quite know what to make of it because it was really at the forefront of the whole alt new wave scene. I mean, they really came out and they made a mark on the music scene. It was just amazing. Lando, tell us about how you when you first discovered it with Frank.
Well, we used to hit the LA scene, go dancing around back in the 70s, late 70s. Boy, that was a long time ago. And we would hear music and go, gosh, I wonder who that was. Or, hey, what is that? And we'd find out more about it, and we go to the old record stores back in the day, you kids. And we found records, and we tried them, and we actually purchased them and played them.
And you put a little salt on them, they tasted even better.
Oh, like a pizza. So
Licorice Pizza was the name of a record store
That's
in California.
That's right,
Licorice Pizza.
In Westwood. Anyway, so other than that, that's how we would learn about new music a lot of times, especially, let's face it, back in the day of dancing, new wave, punk, blah, blah.
Now, I don't know too much about the Talking Heads. I do know one of the songs we're doing today, so I'm kind of excited to hear the other one and give my assessment of what, if it's something I would like.
It's really great stuff. You're going to dig it. They've got so many great songs. We had a hard time choosing what to do, but we settled on these two because they are very reflective of the best of the Talking Heads.
Just an FYI, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in what year?
2002.
2002, wow.
So they are there, and they're on a number of Rolling Stones top 500 songs lists. They have 3 tunes on the top 500. And albums, too. They were just an iconic band. So we're going to get into it, but before we do, we'd like to remind you again, if you have not and you like what you hear, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. We'd love to have you be a part of the tribe. And for all of our subscribers, as always, we thank you very much. Anyway, we are going to start with our first selection from their third album from 1979, Fear of Music. This is the great song. It's kind of a cautionary tale about what could happen when you're living in a zone when ugly things are going down. So here it is from 1979. It's Talking Heads with Life During Wartime.
I haven't heard this one.
Lived in a ghetto. I've lived all over this town.
It's Lando. He's with us.
Some last a couple of days, but I ain't got no speakers, ain't got no headphones, ain't got no records to play. Why stay in college? Why go to night school? Gonna be different this time. Can't write a letter, can't send no postcard. I ain't got time for that now. Trouble in transit, got through the roadblock. We blended in with the crowd. We got computers, we're tapping phone lines. I know that that ain't allowed. We dress like students, we dress like housewives, or in a suit and a tie. I changed my hairstyle so many times now, I don't know what I look like. You make me shiver, I feel so tender. We make a pretty good team. Don't get exhausted.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'd like to start off.
Jump on in, Nick. What do you think?
This is one of the most minimalistic songs I've ever heard. There was nothing as far as the chorus was concerned. No additional instruments, no lead guitar. I mean, nothing. And one thing I don't like is the vocal is too far back in this song. I don't know if it's
David
just
Byrne? You thought he was not singing
He should have
close
been
enough?
farther out in front. I mean, the whole thing was da 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 da. I mean, the whole time. But I love the song. I don't know. It's weird. I loved it.
Lando, what do you think, man?
I think that the Dodgers suck. Oh, about the song. Yeah, I love it. It's about dancing. It's about kind of just moving around.
The beat.
That's all it's
right?
for.
It's the beat.
Yeah, I mean, everything's got meaning. Whatever
Yes.
they were trying to convey. Talk about a band loaded with weapons. They're talking about probably the Talking Heads going through the crap of having to record, having to go live. I'm just saying, it's just, everything's got a meaning. But to me, it's just...
My take is that I think this is a very poetic song. I mean,
Yeah.
the lyrics are rich and complicated. I mean, they're funny, but very dark humor underlying this
Some
whole
peanut
song.
butter.
I got some peanut butter to last a couple of days. I don't have no headphones, don't have no records to play. Stay away from the window. Somebody'll see up there. There's all of this sense of sinister activity going on, and the title tells it all. Life during wartime.
Right.
It's like trying to get through while something dark is going on out in the environment around you, and your whole life has changed. It's like he's got 3 passports, 2 visas. I don't even know my real name. It's like all these false identities, this rearranging of your own existence because war has changed the whole scenario. So it's this really cleverly constructed imaginary apocalyptic reality that the lyrics convey.
Yeah.
I think it's really brilliantly written. I think it's really wonderful.
Or it's just nothing.
Or it's just a song about shit going
they
down.
just wrote it on a napkin.
like a Picasso. Yeah.
No, but I still want to reiterate, it is so minimalistic,
It is,
this song.
absolutely.
I mean,
It
a
is.
couple of chords,
Yeah.
a nice beat. Occasionally you hear that
Now.
bass guitar twang in there. And that's it. It's all, but I loved it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I could have listened to that song another minute and a half, and I would have
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
remember what we said. I'm just saying, that was almost 50 years ago, right? You think about 50 years before that, what was the sound?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Everybody's going, ooh, 1970s. Now, today,
Well,
You're right.
How about the music from the 50s? Doo-wop,
I'm saying.
shoo-wop,
Well, that's what I'm
boop,
saying.
boop,
This
boop.
really is quintessential
Yeah,
new
of the
wave
se- of the-
music.
of the part of the
really
century,
new
right.
wave music. I mean, it was really cutting edge and different.
But
really
their
cutting
next
edge.
song is a lot more creative.
It's more
that's for sure.
a different song. That's the thing about Talking Heads is they surprise you
Yeah.
with so many weird, unusual. David Byrne
They
is
tried
such an
everything.
incredibly
Yeah.
creative being. Really remarkable.
Played
Leave
a
us
lot.
your comments. Let us know.
By
what
the
you
way,
think.
3 of these guys met while attending a school of design in New York, the New York area,
Right.
which I thought was really interesting. They moved to New York City and started a new band and almost immediately made an impact.
yeah.
Because they started in late
their stuff
77.
is performance art. Right. It really is more than just music. It's performance art.
And he's quite the showman too. When he gets
Absolutely,
up on stage.
he's brilliant, creative.
He's still doing stuff today. As a matter of fact, a little out there as far as his opinions. There definitely is opinion based, but they're out there, and he's still doing it.
Great stuff.
Well,
anyway.
I still think that eating heads off cats isn't the smartest thing to do on stage.
That's right.
Did he do that?
Anyway, we're ready to get into our second tune, which we selected here. It is one of their bigger hits. It was a top 10 hit, and it is one of the songs that are listed in the top 500 by Rolling Stone. It's from their fifth album from 1983, Speaking in Tongues. It is the big song, Burning Down the House. So let's get into it without further ado. Here we go. Talking Heads, Burning Down the House.
Are those electric drums?
I don't know. Maybe.
Doesn't sound like regular drums.
Tasty. The way that builds.
Okay.
Comes the outro there.
I have to admit I was wrong. This song's minimalistic too. Not a whole lot of instruments, but they sure did build up towards the end of that. But easy stuff. I mean, it's not difficult, but yet they make it sound so complicated.
Right.
And I was wrong about the vocals. That must be his style. He likes that tinny sound in the background where he's not out front.
He wants that automated sound, almost
Right.
like he's a techno voice, like a robo voice or something.
Yes.
Isn't that a lot of his style, Lando?
Absolutely.
It's just
Absolutely.
He's always breaking boundaries and expectations in this music.
He wants to be heard, but it's the music that's more important to him.
Yep.
But
as far as people digging
the mood.
Whatever you think of those
tempo.
percussion, I think the percussion is so tasty.
I think it sounded a lot of South African style, like trying to use the congas and the beat of it.
So
you know
do you
what I
think
mean?
that those were electric drums in the beginning?
I think
like,
they were.
You
I
know,
think there was a lot of
synthesized
that.
drums.
I do.
But I like that. I don't know what instrument makes that sound. That is that a guitar or is it a synthesizer? I couldn't quite
probably.
tell.
Synthesizer.
And then I like that kind of weird hoo hoo.
Yeah, that's
But
also
it's such a
synthesizer.
great song,
Yeah, it's
isn't
fun.
it? I mean,
just fun to listen to.
it's such a nice song.
That's all it
and
is.
you're
Just-
right. It's about tempo. It's about mood.
Right.
It's about it's almost like a heart rhythm, you know. It's
Right.
just consistent. It's and it just
and it
continues
keeps
to
you
pump.
listening. Yeah,
You know?
I agree.
It just sweeps you up with this ongoing rhythm, and then with these little variations here and
The
there.
nice thing about this songs back when, from a lot of different artists that I liked, they weren't so long, unless it was a dance song that you put on at a party. I'm just
Like
saying,
an
the
8-minute
whole-
song, you mean?
Yeah, like Funky Town. The whole one side is the dance version.
Wow.
But I'm saying a lot of these artists they didn't repeat themselves over. They did, but in a shorter amount of time that they do today.
I mean, this one here really rocked with the drums and the bass. I mean, they were the driving force of this
a
song.
lot of it is, let's face it, a lot of it is party music, right? You put it on, everybody comes over, they're having a drink.
But then the dichotomy is like what Frank says, where their lyrics are really explaining something quite complicated and quite unique.
They're very much a thinking person's band
absolutely.
because there's a deliberateness in everything David Byrne does.
Yeah.
There's a kind of calculus and a deliberate nature of what he's trying to do because he has an artistic purpose with everything he does in this music.
Absolutely.
He does do some commercial poppy stuff once in a while,
Right.
but the majority of his material is along this line. It's performance art.
And I want to remind you guys,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know anything about this. Frank's talking about David Byrne like maybe I would talk about George Harrison. You know what I mean? I know him, I like him, and I've heard all this.
Right.
I don't know. When they're saying this, I mean, they respect him as Lando
As an
and
artist.
Frank are saying, as an artist that's come out with multiple albums. I think it's 9 albums in about 11 years. And they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, that tells you these guys are well respected.
around the world. That's the whole
They
thing.
were
It's not just-
international big success. You're right, Lon. They were
Absolutely.
big in Europe, in England, and in Asia. I mean, they started
Everywhere.
breaking through Asia. But just and the remaining. I mean, the what's that? Stop Making Sense. That video movie really was
Yeah,
huge.
with those big shoulder coat.
He had the coat with the big shoulders, and he's going
Doing
like
his
this,
thing with
singing.
us.
No
Letting
idea.
the days go by.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it
Same
ever
as it
was.
ever
Did they do that song?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this song.
Want to do it? We
No,
can do
it's
it.
okay. But I do know that song.
Oh, yeah, I know. Once in a lifetime. Great song. So many great songs. What did you guys think of Talking Heads? Leave us your Talking
Have you
Head
ever seen him in
experience.
concert?
Yep.
Have you ever danced with Lando in downtown LA at one of those parties?
A big Gamma Phi Beta High. Hi.
Oh, it's so good to have him with us and great to make some videos with him. We got a couple coming in down the pipeline, not just today. So keep an eye out for our Nick Knarf and Lando videos coming over the next coming weeks. We're having a great time doing it, and we're glad you're with us. And if you enjoyed what you heard and enjoyed hanging with us, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and being part of the tribe because we're caring for your ears, and we love doing it for you. And anyway, we're ready to head out. So without further ado, I want to thank you again on behalf of Lando and Nick. This is Knarfy signing off. You guys want to say anything before we go?
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Peace out.
Bye-bye.